Good morning. My name is Fernando Villa. I'm an English teacher. I work in Unidad Educativa Gualaceo, and I'm going to show you the final project about speaking. It's one of the four skills that I was learning in Mecapacito course, and it is a wonderful course. Well, I am going to show you the first part is unit plan, speaking unit plan, which I have prepared with three stages. You can see three stages. The first one, introduction to ED endings. The main goal is understanding and using ED endings in the past tense verbs. Sub-skills, recognize and pronounce of three different ED endings, phonemes, TD, 90. Use regular past tense verbs accurately in spoken communication. Participate in structured discussions and role plays using past tense verbs. Well, the first stage is introduction to ED endings. Identify regular verbs and their past tense forms, pronunciation drills, classification games. Stage 2, pronunciation, phonemes, TD, ID. Practice accurate pronunciation in context, sentence building, for example, and the communicative practice using role plays and storytelling interviews. Role plays is something very um, deep in knowledge that students can practice with their imagination. Is a very funny game where they can think in depth the situation in which they are going to deal with in peers and so on. Storytelling is another methodology they learn in Mecapacito course is one of the most important methodologies that help students to think in different contexts which where they can apply all the knowledge they have. Well, this is the unit speaking plan. The second requirement was to create a lesson plan. In lesson plan, we can find three main points: opening, development, and closing section. Let's analyze the first one, opening. But before analyzing the first step, I would like to share with you the unit goals, introduction to regular verbs and ED endings. Subskill, recognize and pronounce the three different ED endings, T, D, and IV. Well, the requirement is to make a video, to record a video, no more than 20 minutes. So I'm going to explain very fast each one of them. Well, opening. Here is the stage where I'm going to activate students through a warm-up activity. One of the things that I uh, want to activate in them is read the students and asking questions. For example, what did you do yesterday? I'm going to show them flashcards. Second is highlight verbs and ending in ed uh, letters. What do these words have in common? For example, showing flashcards. And the third, explain the lesson goal that we are going to deal with them. Okay, now I'm going to show you the my presentation like if I were in a class. Okay, here we can see Mecapacito, course, my final project, ED ending, speaking practice, final project. Well, I'm going to start my class showing students a flashcard where they can think different things. For example, different scenarios. The first question, what did you do yesterday? I will ask them the question, what did you do yesterday? And I'm going to show you and show them the flashcards. And the first one, students could say, "Oh, teacher, she's washing something. I don't know, but what? Uh, but she's washing something." The next one is a man with a uniform, a yellow uniform, playing something. I cannot see what is the sport he is playing, but he is doing something very funny for him. The third picture is a girl. She's smiling, she's laughing. Yes. Well, the main point here is to focus on the ed words. So I'm going to ask them, students, what can you see here? This picture that is very, very, very common. Students could say, oh, yes, teacher, I can see an ed letters that are common in all the verbs there. Okay, so once they answer like this, I will ask them, how do you think these words could be written? So they could say, oh, wash it, kick it, laugh it. Is something like that that is common in our country. In Latin America, Spanish is very common to hear something like this. Well, I could say, students, we are going to learn how to pronounce this kind of words. For example, washed, kicked, laughed. Students could say, oh, wow, what are the rules? Well, the next step is, like I show you in my lesson plan is to show them the main objective, introduction to regular verbs and endings. Once I have showed them, I'm going to teach them the following mm, flashcard about pronunciation. You wonder, maybe you're wondering, what is, what are doing the pets there in the picture? Well, here I have a guinea pig. The guinea pig is very common in our culture. Many people have a guinea pig like pet, or many people like to take care of them when they grow. They are adults. People usually eat them. It's delicious. I have tried. It's so delicious. Well, the guinea pig is going to be with us in a moment. Ay, papá, teléfono, papi. Yeah. Well, sorry, I had a little problem with my computer. Okay, we are um analyzing the phonemes that we are going to deal with. We can see a guinea pig, and I'm going to show them the phoneme T, D, and ID. So the mysterious. Mister here is how to pronounce each one. So I want to say them. We are going to learn each one of the phonemes. For example, let's get started with the first one. We have the phoneme ID. Now, please, students, focus on the light blue letters. The first one here, the T and D. Here, the X, C, S, H, K, P. And here, L, N, R, G, V, S, W, Y, Z. The objective here is to analyze each one of the light blue letters to have an idea of how to pronounce each verb in the past tense. Okay, students, focus on the first one, ID. If we can see the T and D letters that are colored in light blue, after that we have the letters E and D. If you can see, all the verbs have something in common. That are the ed letters in red color. All the verbs have are red color. So the question is, how can I pronounce each one of the verbs in the past? Let's take a look on the first word and the second word. The first, the base form is rent, the base form. Now we can pronounce it like rented, rented. And the second one, added in simple past. So through the drilling technique, I'm going to speak aloud and students have to repeat after me. So rented, added. Students have to repeat after me. Rented, added, 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 rented. So the main rule here is that a word that finishes T and D, we have to pronounce add, add. Rented, added. Yes. Now, let's take a look at the second one. The second one, we can see a T letter here, a phoneme. Now, the same way, we have to look very carefully the light blue letter before the red color. We can see X, C, S, H, K, and P. So the words that finishes in these letters need need to be pronounced using a T sound instead of the EV letters. How, teacher? In the same, in the following situation, and like the following example. For example, mix is a simple present, and mixed simple past. Placed, guess, guessed, breath, breathed, watch, watched, laugh, laughed, finish, finished, cook, cooked, jump, jumped. Students can realize that the pronouns here is like take the T letter and replace instead of the EV letter that are colored in red. So very simple. Now we can make a review from the first and the second phoneme. The first one is rented, added. The second one mixed, placed. They can see a big difference in pronouncing both phonemes. Here in the second one in the T phoneme, I like to practice with students the following trick. Very simple trick. We have to touch our throat and pronounce each one of the phonemes, each one of the letters that are in light blue color. For example, the first one, X. We have to touch, here is X. We have to touch our throat and practice pronouncing the word X. In English sounds like, and ask students if they feel something strange in their throat, if they feel any vibration, or if it's a voiceless word. They won't have something vibrating in their throats. So if they feel that pronouncing the letter, they don't feel anything in their throat, anything of like vibration, they have to put the phoneme T instead of EV letters. For example, mixed. This is the trick. Sometimes students cannot record all or memorize all the words. So this is a very important trick. Let's continue to the third letter, third phoneme D, and the same way. Take a look very, look very careful, look carefully. The light blue colors. Light blue colors are here before ED, and they have to pronounce each one. For example, O, O, and they have to touch their throats. Do you have any vibration here? Yes, of course. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Of course. O, O, I feel something. I feel a vibration in my throat. The next one, N. Mm, the next one, R. Next one, G. Z. Next one, V. And Mecapacito course were very clear about the two pronunciations in Spanish about the V. There are two V's, V and V, V and V. We have to be very careful picking this. In the same way, if your throat feels like a vibration, they have to use the sound field, burned, discovered. Well, it's time to make a beautiful play. It's time to play a beautiful game called role play. Role play is very hilarious methodology where the students can enjoy everything. Next, they have to work in peers, practicing. For example, Tison, I walked to school, I spelled my words, my that ended well. They have to memorize, or they have to take into account the three explanations about phonemes T, D, and ED. Next, they have to work individually with the work. Obviously, the teacher is going to pick each one aloud. For example, spilled. Oh, they may think, oh yes, it's here in this column, or in this column. They have to write in the correct column. Finally, they have to um, work in peers, where with a rubric, I am going to check the participation of each one of them, and that's all. Time is over, and I hope you enjoy everything that I have prepared for you. Requirements are 20 minutes, and the time has completed. Thank you very much.